So, for those of you who didn't know, Amazon Prime is actually creating another video game show. And if you just recently got done watching Fallout, you would probably be really excited. And when you hear the name of the title, even more excited. Amazon Prime is going to be creating the Like a Dragon Yakuza video game into a show, which sounds exciting at first, as the video game is really interesting. For those who have not played the video game, I strongly recommend you play the game. It's a lot of fun. The story is absolutely crazy. I played it on the stream. The best part about these games is that they're so intense with their storytelling and narrative that even though it's subtitled, the entire stream is just enthralled into watching it all unfold out into this massive, like, got you moments every 5 seconds. So, a phenomenal game. Absolutely amazing. If you have never experienced these games, I strongly recommend it. So naturally, it'd be really exciting to see this in the TV show, as I believe that this would make a perfect TV show. But as you would come to expect in 2024, we have some interesting news coming out of Comic-Con. Now, this article was posted on That Dark Place. And the title of this article says, Like a Dragon Yakuza actor reveals Prime Video banned him and others from playing the game so that they could explore characters from scratch. So just already hearing that, it's already amazing, isn't it? Right? I mean, we had something similar like that happened with the Rings of Power. And if you remember, that was such a success. Right off the back here, I mean, this is actually a bad idea if this really is the case. We're going to go through the article and see exactly what they have to say about this. So let's continue. It says, actor Ryoma, who plays Kiryu in the Prime Video's upcoming live-action adaptation, Like a Dragon Yakuza, revealed he was banned from playing games so the show could explore characters from scratch. It says, at San Diego Comic-Con, Takeshi shared, I know these games, everybody in the world knows these games, but I haven't played them. He then revealed the production team stopped him from playing the games. I like to try them, but they had to stop me because they wanted to, for the character in the script, explore from scratch. That's why I decided not to play. Well, isn't that interesting? So you have an actor who is doing his job, which is learning the character, exploring the character, and doing so in the source material, the actual material, not like a sum up on a video or a wiki page or a side novel that they create once the game is already out. He's actually exploring the actual source media of where these characters, these stories, and where the fandom was created and fostered for all these years. Or is that? And the production team is basically telling him, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't watch the show. You don't need to know the character. Believe me, we know the character and we want to tell you how to play the character. Now, this is interesting to me because what this basically is doing is that it's setting this actor up for failure. In other words, this actor is not going to know whether or not what he's doing is correct or true to the character. And obviously, the production team doesn't really care about that either. So you basically have to hope that the production team here is going to do their research and ensure that that actor is, staying true to the character. But if you go by Amazon's track record, we know that there's not much faith in the production team here at Amazon. I don't really understand the point of this, especially after their success of Fallout. Fallout was a really amazing show. It's definitely become one of my most favorite shows. I enjoyed the show, and I was actually really surprised that it came from Amazon Prime to begin with. So hearing this about Yakuza is kind of disheartening, especially as someone, I didn't start with the Yakuza games when they came out. I obviously got into them much later, but I have loved every single one since then. And it's really unfortunate that we more than likely are going to be getting a very different version of Yakuza, a very what Amazon feels Yakuza is, if they're already denying the actors from even doing the research to begin with. Let's see what else this article has to say. It says his fellow actor, Kento, who plays Akira, also added, I definitely knew the property very well, but I didn't realize the franchise was this globally big, which obviously it is. I mean, Yakuza is a very well-known game, very well respected in the gaming community. at large. It's really hard to find negative things about Yakuza, especially when you play the game. When you play the game, you'll absolutely see just how amazing Yakuza really is. But let me continue. We decided we would make sure we would do our own version and relive the characters, take the spiritual elements, and embody them on our own. There was a clear line we wanted to draw, but everything on the bottom was respect. So this is basically, the co-star echoing or confirming what the main character is actually saying here, the main star, which is the production team absolutely decided to stop them from doing any research or playing the game, which I think is a little kind of controlling too. What happens if he just wants to play the game? This also makes me believe that they probably looked for people who don't know anything about the game. And the only reason why I can think this is because they just did not want any pushback. They already know that what they're changing isn't going to be good. It's not going to be something that's well received. And they definitely needed actors in there that wasn't going to go against what they're trying to push or what they're trying to change. And that's really unfortunate because it just goes to show you the deceptiveness, the lies that these producers have, who are more interested in pushing their own agendas than respecting someone else's work. Because at the end of the day, this is somebody else's work. This is the entire team's life, labor, and passion that they put into this project. And you're basically taking that and just doing whatever you want with it and claiming it as your own by basically saying my version is better, even though the community was thriving and growing and being successful way before you even decided to even look at the franchise. And yet you're coming in here and basically saying, I'm better. I know what I'm doing. Now, this is interesting. They're going to talk about George R.R. Martin. Now, I have my own opinions about Martin. Definitely don't agree with a lot of his political point of views. But when it comes to writing and it comes to respecting the source material, he obviously has a lot of insight on that. And no matter my opinions on his political affiliations and what he believes, there's no denying that he's a fantastic writer. So we continue. It says, in fact, George R.R. Martin has been raising the alarm bells about Hollywood studios, producers, showrunners, and other disrespecting the source material when it comes to the adaptations. In a recent blog post, Martin discussed the dragons in the Game of Thrones and compared and contrasted them to the various other dragons such as Tolkien's Smaug, as well as Toothless and How to Train Your Dragon, among others. Martin asserts that fantasy needs to be grounded. It is not simply a license to do anything you like. Smaug and Toothless may be dragons, but they should never be confused. Ignore canon, and the world you created comes apart like tissue paper. Which is absolutely true. So basically what he's saying here is exactly my point. It's people coming in and deciding to change the narrative or change the story or put their version into the series and call it their own. And I think that's really unfortunate. So, for example, if you wanted a story that it was unique and original, you could have it take place in the Yakuza world, but you can't make it based off of the Yakuza characters, as those stories have already been told. And those stories is what created the fandom to begin with. And when you start changing that, when you prevent your actors from doing their jobs, right? Like at the end of the day, we complain about actors being overpaid and making millions of dollars, but they do have a job, and their job is to do the research, learn the characters, understand what it means to be in that community. And you need to present that character as if we recognize that character the way we see it. And that's probably one of the most important roles of an actor. We don't need the actor to be a fan. We don't need the actor to love the series. What we need the actor to do is the research and learn the character and respect what that character is and respect the community, and then present that character as the way we envision it. And so basically Martin here is getting at that these showrunners come in, they see an IP, it looks big, they want to put money into it, they see money, they want to twist it and change it to their own because that's how they see it. And they just want you to accept it because it has the name. It says Yakuza. You're going to play it. You play the video game, you'll watch the show, you'll respect it, you'll get your parents to watch it. At the end of the day, though, it's just not working. As we can see throughout the industry, these things just aren't working anymore. It's no longer happening. Things are changing. And I am very surprised that this is a continued practice. And this is very shocking after the events that took place with Fallout. Fallout was such an awesome show, so good. And then this happens. And I don't know where the breakdown's at. I actually don't know how Amazon does their shows or producing. You have Rings of Power, then you have Fallout, and then you have this with Yakuza, and it makes no sense to me. You think with the success of Fallout that they would just want to repeat that success, but here they are already denying actors, and more than likely more people on the show, maybe writers or even further actors, from even looking into the project, looking into the lore, looking into the community and trying to represent it in the best way imaginable. And I just believe he's setting this actor up for failure. I mean, if he does a bad job, people are going to blame him. They're going to attack him. And then you're going to get the whole thing on Twitter, people saying that gamer rage, they hate this game. Of course they do. Nothing's ever perfect. And at the end of the day, of course it can't be perfect. You didn't even give your actors the ample amount of time or resources to do the research to try their best to respect the community and the lore and the story and the writing. So it's really unfortunate that something like that even happened. Now, George R. R. Martin continues and he says, the book is the book, the film is the film. They will tell you as if they're saying something profound. Then they make their story their own. They never make it better, though 999 out of 1,000, they make it worse. Perfect words out of Martin's mouth regarding what happens when you decide to change a story, which is exactly what I'm talking about. They try to make it their own, and it just ends up making it worse. I believe in October 24th is the release for the Like a Dragon Yakuza TV show from Amazon Prime. It will be interesting to watch. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of hate watching. There's always a chance that the producers and the production team did do their research, did understand the script, did understand the fandom. And, maybe it is for the better, but more than likely, we kind of know how this road, where it goes and where it stops. So that's my take on it. It's unfortunate. What do you guys think? Are you guys going to watch the show? How many of you guys actually have played Yakuza or have watched Yakuza? Are you looking forward to the show? Are you going to hate watch it? Are you genuinely excited for it? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like, hit the bell. Make sure you come by my Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/D2Games. I stream pretty frequently over there. I hope to see all you guys very soon and have a beautiful night.